does. Okay, recording. So one of the things that Alignment does that I'll give a brief introduction is Alignment constructs and maintains the electrical transmission and distribution facilities, both in the overhead and in the underground, that deliver electrical energy to our homes, businesses, and even commercial establishments. Alignment provide important skill services to electrical industry. And those skill services are important because the health and welfare of the public are dependent and reliable on our electrical service. And when emergencies arise as a result of lightning and wind and ice storms or other natural disasters, we ourselves as linemen, we respond to restore electrical service at any time of the day or night. And after Quincy introduces himself and after we have a nice video, we have some unique images to share with everybody, just to kind of put it in perspective of what a lineman or an apprentice has to deal with, a lot of the different elements that we have to put ourselves in. So, but now I am a journeyman lineman here at San Diego Gas and Electric. I'm also one of our line school instructors. I actually are in our training facility in Mission Valley Skills Training Center. I deal with that. I have hands-on, firsthand experience with training all types of individuals on how to better themselves in the electrical industry. So that's just a brief little background on myself. And I know there'll be a lot of questions later on and we'll get to that. But I'm gonna let Quincy introduce himself. He's my better half on the other side of me. So I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Quincy White. I'm originally from Texas, and that's Houston, Texas, that is, the better part of Texas, you know. Actually, my journey is, I went to college, I went to Texas Tech University, the Texas Tech University, played football there, had no intentions of doing anything else but play football. I was drafted. I played professional football for 4.5 years for Kansas City. After that, I knew I had to find something to do. I did have my degree. So I was actually a juvenile probation officer for probably about 4 years. When I got tired of chasing kids around and babysitting kids, I saw a line crew out working, and I was in my office and I was like, God, I need to get out of this office. You know, I want to get outside and do something with my hands, just get in the sun and do something that was, you know, competitive for me, something physical and challenging. So I went out there and I asked the foreman, you know, what is this? You know, and he told me all about it. You know, I saw the guys climbing the poles and the big trucks and all that kind of stuff. I said, I want to do that, you know. So he told me to go down to the hall and sign up. And it was actually a contractor for the utility company in Houston that I talked to. So I got on, and me having a degree and work experience and all that, I had to kind of humble myself, take a step back and look at the big picture. I said, this is a job that, you know, it's the essential job, right? It's if the, you know, it's almost no matter what happens in the world, they're going to need electricity, right? So I said, well, that's job security right there, you know. And maybe when I get in, I can do something else if I don't like it, but I at least want to try to see what it's like, right? So I joined apprenticeship in Texas. And as I journeyed out, I moved right here to San Diego because I've always wanted to come to California, right? So I got on with SDGE, and I've been here almost, I think 17, 18 years now, something like that. Haven't went back home, right? I'm still here in San Diego. But I started off I came in as a journeyman, worked my way up, and found out like after eight years or so, I wanted to go into management since I had my degree. And one thing that I love about San Diego Gas and Electric is that I was also able to extend my degree. I got a master's degree while I was here, and the company helped me pay for that. So I have I have my bachelor's associate in, business, and I have an MBA, and the company helped me pay for that. And really tell you the truth, that there's no way I could have paid for it, you know, any other kind of way, and just, you know, be done with it, not have any loans or anything like that, because I was working and also going to school at night too. So And now actually I'm the construction manager at in Orange County. So I went from coming in as a journeyman, moving up into management, and then going a step further as a supervisor, construction supervisor for 8 years. And also after that, becoming construction manager in Orange County. So there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of things you can do. You know, besides being a lineman, besides being outside in construction, we have planners, you know, we have locators. There's a plethora of different positions that you can get inside in the company. And it's like, ever since COVID, I mean, I hate to say, you know, we know it's COVID is all a bad thing, but we've been working nonstop here. You know, it hasn't changed as far as work for us. You know, we've worked even more. So, and then one thing about it, as far as being a journeyman is, and I'm not gonna rabble on too long, is that you can carry your certification almost anywhere in the world. They need journeyman linemen everywhere. They have it in the military. We have people who, like, when they had the hurricanes, you know, I mean, they're hiring linemen everywhere. So it's a great job, great company to be with. No lie, it's a great company to be with. I mean, I remember when I first got on this company, I wanted to get on so bad. I mean, when I got on, I wore my SDGE shirt everywhere, you know, grocery store, everything. So it got to the point where I stopped wearing it because people were always asking, hey, are they hiring? So I'm like, I just wear a t-shirt now when I get out for work. So, but I really do like it, and met some fabulous people like this guy right here. I remember when he first came on with the company, you know, you see people like this that they don't know anything, just like I was. And now, I mean, he's an instructor, you know, everyone comes through him, you know, so it's a great thing. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you look into it. I hope you look into our company. Call Kelly up. Kelly knows everything. If you need to know anything, call her. But thanks a lot. My name is Quincy White.
All right. So thank you, Quincy, and thank you, everybody. So to kind of give you a brief introduction of what our trade or what our company has to offer, we do have plenty of different options that, like Quincy brought out, from locators, planners, designers, project assistants. There's multiple different options. We've got the story is we have an individual who started the company off in the mailroom, right, and now is the CEO of the company. So you can start off on the bottom and work all the way to the top. The unique thing about San Diego Gas and Electric, it's very like family oriented, very family driven. So it's a unique company to be with. So we're going to kind of just share our side of the house. We're on the electric side. We call it ERO, which is Electric Regional Operations. It's our distribution and transmission department. Our entry-level position for us is a line assistant position. And the line assistant position is something that feeds into the apprenticeship program. Our apprenticeship program is a 3-year journey. When you're in that program, it does consist of night school, and congratulations, you are back enrolled into San Diego City College as you go through your night school training. So that's also a unique thing about that. So that's also nice. So, but on completion of that, then you become a journeyman lineman, and then now you hold a trade or a ticket in a trade that is world renowned, right? So it's a unique opportunity. You're part of a different, unique workforce or trade. So we have a brief video that kind of shows some small aspects of our training, pretty much the beginning entry level of it. And then after the video, I have a few photos I would like to share, and it kind of just puts things in perspective of the things that we do, the things that we're exposed to, a lot of exciting things. It's just different elements of the work that we have to deal with. So it's pretty exciting. So I'll transfer it over to Kelly, see if she'll be able to
Yeah, I'm going to share our video. So give me 1 second. And I need to share sound. Okay. Let me know when you guys can see this.
We can see it.
We see it, yeah.
We're good? Okay, awesome. And then hopefully you can also hear it.
path to becoming a journeyman lineman at SDGE starts as a line assistant. It's a pre-apprentice position, and the feeder pull into our 3-year, 6,000-hour apprentice lineman program. Line assistant candidates must attend and successfully complete a 5-week orientation at our skills training facility. The first 3 weeks of the orientation consist of overhead and underground training. Your mechanical aptitude, physical, and mental abilities will be tested in both formal classroom and field settings. All candidates will be required to pass 4 overhead field assessments during the first 10 days of the orientation. Any candidate that does not successfully pass the assessment by day 10 will be removed from the program. Candidates must also maintain an 80% GPA on written testing during the formal classroom training. During the overhead underground segment of the orientation, you'll become familiar with the tools and materials commonly used by line crews and the duties and methods required to safely perform groundwork in support of the crews. Candidates will be instructed on the procedures and methods to safely climb poles and will practice climbing daily in our climbing pit at the skills training facility. Candidates that successfully complete the first 3 weeks of orientation will be given the opportunity to select a work location by current district needs. Your choice of work location is based on seniority and will be your home district for the duration of your time as a line assistant and as an apprentice lineman. At the completion of the 3-week overhead and underground segment of this training, you'll have 1 week of vehicle and commercial driver's license training and 1 week of safety and environmental compliance courses to complete your orientation. For anyone choosing the career path of lineman, you really need to understand the dedication and commitment required to be successful. You need to understand that per the collective bargaining agreement, or what we call the contract, that you can be in the line assistant position for up to a maximum of 3 years. During your time as a line assistant, you may not bid on other positions that may become available, and you must accept the apprentice position when offered, regardless of the location. If you refuse to accept the apprentice position, you'll be removed from the program and you'll not be able to bid on the position in the future. As an apprentice, you'll attend 29 weeks of classroom and field training at the skills training facility, where you will be evaluated on your ability to safely perform required tasks in the field and maintain an 80% GPA in the classroom. In addition, apprentices are also required to attend and successfully complete 3 years or 480 hours of college-level mathematics and electrical theory in night school courses through San Diego City College. The job requires you to respond to call-outs and work extended hours in locations throughout our service territory and in all types of weather. It requires being comfortable and able to work at extreme heights or in confined spaces on high-voltage wires and cable, and you must be physically and mentally able to safely perform your job in all conditions.
Some people come into this trade thinking they know what they're getting themselves into. I'm here to share with you some of the physical preparation that is required to get into this trade. This weight room is just a snapshot of some of the things that we would like to prepare your body for. The lifting, increasing strength, increasing your capacity to handle the loads that your body will have to endure while working out with the crews out on these jobs. We have a couple of areas of the body that we want to focus in on. Your legs have to be in good shape because there's going to be a lot of climbing activities. Good quad strength, good hamstring strength, good calf strength. Then comes the back, where we start to do a lot of bending, twisting, turning. Our core strength has to be good. Then we move into the upper part of your body, the shoulders, the arms. These are areas that really have to be physically fit. Doing lateral raises, curls, bench presses. Then comes the neck. There's going to be a lot of lifting, a lot of turning, a lot of twisting with the neck, a lot of observing, and most importantly, our heart, the cardiovascular system. Some of us think because I run 3, 4, 5 miles a day, I'm physically fit for this job. No, you're not. Some of us get in the weight room and we lift all the weights. Will it prepare me for this job? No, it's not. I don't want you to be surprised when you come into this job, thinking that you can do it from a physical and mental standpoint. Don't underestimate this. You've got to train. Be prepared. This is not an easy task. Only a few people can do it. It is a hazardous job. It is a job that's physically demanding and mentally challenging.
You will be required to pass 4 physical assessments that require strength, conditioning, and mechanical ability. These assessments are mandatory and must be completed within the first 10 days of orientation. These are the minimum requirements to become a line assistant at SDGE. Assessment 1, The first assessment will be building a basic 8-foot 6-pin crossarm in under 5 minutes. Assessment 2 will be to climb a 40-foot pole with pole steps and count to 20 while at the top of the pole before descending. You will be fitted with a fall restraint lanyard for safety. Assessment 3, you will be required to move a pin and insulator from one side of a crossarm to the other side using a crescent wrench to loosen and tighten the hardware without dropping anything. Assessment 4 will be to raise an approximate 90-pound crossarm 40 feet in the air with a hand line and then lower it to the ground while in total control at all times. Failure to complete any one of these assessments could disqualify the participant from continuing in the orientation.
Being a lineman is more than what you see on the job site. There's a way of life, state of mind, and a way of orientating oneself in the working environment. To be a lineman is to embody character traits like discipline, integrity, responsibility, and leadership. Our mission here at Skills Training Center is to provide you with extremely effective training and coaching, giving you the tools to succeed and excel as a journeyman lineman. During the next 3.5 years, you need to commit yourself to the vigorous training and schooling required to have a successful career. You need to understand that this is a true sacrifice for yourself and your family, committing to long days and nights, holidays and weekends, and even sometimes some special family occasions. Not only do we seek elite functional fitness, strength, and endurance, but also mental toughness. But we believe that hard work builds character and self-confidence. These qualities build a strong apprentice lineman and allow you to thrive in an ever-changing and vigorous work environment.
Okay, so
Okay.
you all done with that, Kelly? I think so. So,
I think she may be frozen. Oh, I think, okay, she's back.
Oh, yes, I'm good. Thank you.
okay, thank you. So I don't know what happened. All of a sudden we started getting captionings involved in this and it started slowing our video speed down, but that's okay. So that video was actually presented for the entry-level position into the program that we have here for San Diego Gas and Electric. It's the line assistant role. It is something that is open to the general public. Of course, it is something that is open to all shape, sizes, different type of individuals. We have plenty of different people within our company. A lot of unique things. It's a very unique and challenging work environment that you saw within the video. So I'm just going to take a few moments to share my screen now. If I think I'm a co-host here, yep. And so to share a few video or photos of some different types of work situations that you could be put into, especially at the entry level position, even up to the German position. And sometimes our eyes get wide open, but we need to remember is, you know, electricity is something that is provided 24/7. That is the ultimate goal for electricity, to be provided 24/7. And at any time, an unfortunate event can happen, right? Whether it's a winter storm, rain event, heat wave, even individuals not being able to control their vehicles at a high rate of speed, or even a slow rate of speed, you know, things can happen. So I'm going to share a couple images, kind of just give a brief description to kind of open your eyes to the different things that you can be involved with and that we do have to work with on a case all the time. So let me just make sure I'm clicking everything right here. Okay. So what we have here obviously is a high-end vehicle in our Rancho Santa Fe area. Story here was it was a 17-year-old kid who decided to take his dad's car out for a ride and decided to park it with our pole to stop his vehicle. So that's kind of what we see there. Kelly, I just don't know. I lost my screen. Can you guys see and hear me okay?
Yes, we hear and see you.
Okay.
Yep, we're good.
Okay, and you can see the images okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Here's another one where we show, hey, even local law enforcement needs our help from time to time. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see that Highway Patrol was actually in pursuit of a suspect here. This is up in the Vista Oceanside area. You can see the Oceanside police cars here. Highway Patrol actually lost control of his vehicle and ended up taking out one of our poles. And so again, this is where we come in because power is out of service and we have to come restore. This unfortunate incident is a privately owned crane operator parked a little too close to power lines, uncradled his crane and took out some power lines. And obviously that thing came down and caught his vehicle on fire. One of those scenarios, and you kind of roll up on it and you're like, what do we do now? And that kind of opens your eyes. Here locally on Camp Pendleton, you know, even the military, we can't drive sometimes. So we have what we call an LAV, which is took out a power pole on Camp Pendleton there. Here's another unique situation is where a boat on a flatbed trailer actually took out a pole. And you know, we have our little terms of we have car poles, tank pole, and now we have a boat pole here, right? Because it's kind of a unique situation. You don't run into that all the time, but a boat taking out a pole. Let's see here. If any of you guys are familiar with the Carlsbad area up there by Palomar Airport, a few years back, we actually had a privately owned small Cessna plane actually crashed into one of our transmission towers up there. And this, you can kind of see the wreckage of it. This thing took down quite a few spans of wire. Ourselves, our crews, we went out, we responded to it. It damaged quite a few different transmission towers, which you guys can see the big steel structure right here. So it takes a lot of work, a lot of coordination to get these things built and then put back up. You know, when something like this happens, it's not just your neighborhood, probably entire communities are out of power right now, right? So we're doing our best to fix it. There we go. We have a crane, semi truck. This is a unique situation. This is the area up in Vista, San Marcos area. Unfortunate incident where they did not survive, but it's a tragic scenario. But as you can see, we have to respond to scenarios like this. We are familiar with San Diego. Right now, we are kind of in a nice season, but we do hit our hot fire season. When fire season comes around, we work hand in hand with CAL FIRE, fire department, law enforcement to do our best to get power back on. We work with multiple different tools, multiple different staging areas. When a fire does come through, it can be devastating and it destroys a lot of the backcountry, the backwoods. But we have to work fast as we can to get poles back on the ground and get lines back up. As you can see, we have a helicopter to assist us. That's one of our tools that we have to our disposal. Here we talk about vehicles using our green boxes to stop their cars, because it's never our box's fault, right? It's always a vehicle's fault. These things are notorious for happening, right? These green boxes that you see around your neighborhood are kind of like magnets for these vehicles. Things do happen all the time. See, the magnet just drew that truck right to it. It just happens. Here is kind of a photo of a significant wind event that happened out in the El Centro area, because they are still within our territory. This wind event blew over. You can see quite a few poles in this image. And of course, we do our best to respond because San Diego County is out of power. And so we are doing our best. Some older pictures here. And we're almost done here. We use multiple different tools to our trade, right? We have cranes that help us set poles. We do a lot of helicopter work. This is the I-5 freeway, using a crane on the I-5 freeway. It's a nice shot from there. There's me up top doing something. Let's see here. And there's another unique tool. So we use a lot of stuff to our advantage, a lot of stuff that is definitely unique. As you can see, we're in all types of elements, all types of work positions, all types of scenarios, things that we take for granted every day. When we're sitting at home and the lights go out, we don't realize, hey, what's actually going on out there? And so as you can see, a transformer being low on oil can explode. And so we have to go respond using all types of tools. Again, another helicopter set, and we have transmission too. So let's stop there. So that was just kind of a brief story on what we kind of share, what we kind of do. Definitely something different. Puts us in a lot of different unique situations. But like I said, that is the entry level, and we go into the lineman trade. So that's kind of my little spiel. Thank you very much for listening to me and Quincy rant on a little bit, and share our story, and just share the unique opportunity that that is presented before you. And so we will pass it over to Miss Kelly Worth now.
Awesome, thank you. So thank you so much. That was super informative, and I hadn't seen some of those pictures before, so that is pretty incredible. So I am the HR staffing person that would work through any of your applications for our jobs. That today obviously is focused on our line assistant apprentice and my trades, but if anyone's interested in other types of roles, I can help with that as well. I do have a link to apply for to get into the next line assistant class. I can put it in the chat here in just a second. I can also send it to Sasha so she can share it with anyone who needs it. Our next class to start, if you're watched that and said, this is for me, or think, friend, family member, you could, share the information you learned with them as well. Our next class is starting in October. So we have a few months, but we do start interviewing probably July, August timeframe, probably start interviewing. So we'll get, and then you'll get to see Shiloh again. So he's part of that interview panel, and I think Quincy is too. So yeah, both of them, you might get to meet again. But we'll go through interviews and then start it. One thing probably goes without saying is that a part of the pre-employment is we get you ready to get your Class A driver's license. You probably saw lots of big trucks there. So you would need a valid license kind of to start, and any sort of construction experience you have, or hands-on mechanical experience is plus, of course. And then of course any courses that you've taken that might give you a leg up in electrical, even just kind of your basic mathematics, things like that you use every day. So I will put that in the chat here. I don't know if there's anything else you need from me, and then I think we can open it up to questions. And Sasha, let us know if we covered.
Yeah, we do have a question in the chat that says, how many
Perfect.
positions will you hire for for the class of October?
Perfect. So what we do, one thing I think, again, we touched on it a little bit, is it is a union represented position. So once you come into this role as a line assistant, you are obviously an SDGE employee, and you are also going to be a member of the local IBEW 465. It's a collective bargaining agreement contract that was mentioned in that video that we go by. So what we do is we have 30 people start in each class. We do have to offer it 50-50 externally, and then internally, as Shiloh mentioned, started as a laborer. So that means those people in the labor classification or any other internal job already also have the opportunity to bid on it. Typically, the class ends up being about 20 people hired externally and about 10 internals starting. That's usually about what we end up with, but it will be 30 total.
What are some things students can do if they are thinking about starting the process in July? What are some things that they may need, or skills they may need, items to brush up on to prepare them for your recruitment process?
So for the recruitment process itself, any sort of, getting your resume ready, we still have to go through that and get your interview prep, really work through all of that good stuff. I think that's going to be your first thing. And then getting some of the physical aspects, like in that video, I think getting physically fit all around, like well-rounded, so you can do the job, because when they start, I mean, I think it's like day 1 or day 2, they're already out there on the pole and starting to really work physically. And October is a nice time to start, but sometimes people start in July. We have classes and it's hot, and so not only are you, and even in October it's hot, so you know, you're out there, you're in the sun, so you kind of want to make sure you're ready for that physically and mentally. So I think those are kind of also important.
There are a couple other questions in the chat in terms of other positions that might be available at SDGE. Is it the same link that you will drop in the chat?
So no, I can send you that as well. So the link to apply to the line assistant is going to be separate. Any other jobs is going to be at our sdgne.com/careers. And then I think you probably will have my contact information, so you can reach out to me directly if you see something that you are qualified for and interested in as well. So we can do that.
And can you confirm the starting pay for the lineman assistant? I think I have.
Oh yeah, great question. Thank you for asking that. The starting pay right now is $31.88 per hour. So that's $31.88, and it does go up every September by approximately so it'll be a little higher than $31.88. It'll probably be like 30 by that point hour, and lots of overtime. Even as a line assistant, there's lots of overtime. I do see one of the questions is how many people apply. We get a lot of applications, hundreds. So it is very competitive, but don't let that scare you. You know, we do this for a reason. We want to, you know, we want people that are coming from the college. We want people that are interested and take the time to go through, you know, listening to us talk.
I think we just lost Kelly, so give us just a couple minutes here.
Yeah, she might have dropped off with her
Yeah.
connection. So to continue on with that point, yes, on average, we can get up to 300 to 400 applicants for those jobs. It's very competitive, as mentioned. But that's why this process that we're doing right now is valuable. It's very competitive. And so having something like this, being a part of this little scenario is really nice. So that's a unique situation. The in-person interview, I think that's one of the questions where it talks about in the chat, says the in-person interview, do they give more points if individuals have electrical training? Yes and no. So it's a yes and no. There is some caveats to that, you know, because we've had individuals who've had 20 years as an in-house electrician, right? Who probably worked with low voltage for a long time. Yes, they've got a general understanding of electricity, but that's why we take that and then we reshape you. We take that and we retrain you to get you up to speed on the higher voltages. So having some background, yes, it gets you one notch up, but it's not significantly a point system, but it is something that we do look forward to, or that we do look to at least kind of helps you out in that favor. So thank you for that.
Yeah, any type of, sorry, I don't know how I got.
You're on mute.
Kelly.
I was gonna say any type of construction or electrical experience will is gonna be preferred over, you know, not having it, but that doesn't mean, again, that we wouldn't take others, like Shiloh was saying, but don't have that.
Any other questions?
What was that? Oh. Oh. Interesting. Well, send it your resume over, take a peek for Jesus. I see that you said that you're having trouble. So send your resume over and we can see what's going on. Yeah, if you want to elaborate on that, I think you can unmute. I'm not sure what. I guess they said that you need more experience than. Did you do electrical in the military? Oh, okay. If you're still in the Army Reserves, ooh, Shiloh, do you know the answer to that one? When you get deployed, I think that we just you just come back in and start where
Yeah, they do.
where you are. Like there
Yes.
was, okay. I
Yes,
think so
so-
it doesn't get delayed or you don't have to restart. You just pause and then come back.
Right, we've had multiple, one of my good friends, he was in 6 months behind me. When I got out in 2002, he continued to stay into reserves. And then when he got hired on with the company, he was deployed several times and his time just got put on hold for 1.5 years when his deployment to Iraq. And then when he came back, he just picked up right back where he is up. So yes, all that time is definitely honored. It doesn't go against you. It doesn't hurt you. It's just if you get called up for duty or even your weekends or even your 2 weeks out of the year, that all gets honored. And so that you will, your time just gets put on hold. You do your training or do your tour, you come right back and then you pick up right where you left off. So all that is definitely honored within the program. So.
Thanks. And who do I send the resume to?
You can send it over to me. Give me one. I'm gonna put my email in the chat.
Yeah. The only reason I asked, because I just left active duty after 17 years, like 6 months ago. And I like construction, but all my experience is military police, logistics, recruiting, admin, stuff like that. I was gonna use the GI Bill to get a construction management degree or join the local electrical training like the UEI or the Summit College. So I can use the 9/11 for that, do it at night, and then I'm doing flooring, and it seems like working with my hands and trying to get out there and do some electrical work. Seems like nobody needs electricians nowadays,
Yeah, starting can be hard. You do have to kind of get in at an assistant level like this. So that makes sense. But yeah, send over your resume. We can get you started in the process.
All right, thanks.
Take it from there.
Is that Jesus?
Thank you for your
who was
service.
asking?
The military. So go ahead, Charles. Sorry.
Sorry. So what's unique about the GI Bill, Jesus, is yes, if you have not used it during any of your active or reserve time, the unique thing about that is it's definitely honored here at San Diego Gas and Electric. Like myself, I was prior military and was able to use the GI Bill while I was enrolled into the program. You still classify as a three-quarter student, so you get a percentage of your GI Bill, which is definitely doable, which is a nice thing. So there's multiple facets of it. So yeah, your 3-year apprenticeship program, including your on-the-job training, including your night school, all that combines to a 3/4 student. So you still get that amount. So the GI Bill is definitely honored here, as long as you did put into it. So that's the other thing too, is you had to make sure you did put into it. So that's the unique thing. You have some time, you got plenty of time to still get into this trade. It's never too late. We've got individuals from all walks of life. It's amazing to see people come through, as long as they have that drive, and it's there. So I definitely ask that you get your resume over to Kelly. Even put on there that, we are here talking to you so that we can remember. But it's definitely a unique opportunity. The GI Bill is honored, so that's another added bonus to that caveat. So thank you, and thank you for your service.
Yeah, and like Shiloh said, that was a good point. When you email me, make sure to just say like, hey, this is Jesus from, the San Diego City College presentation. So I remember who you are and what, you know, the conversation, and we'll get you started in the process.
So we only have about 5 minutes left as my job is timekeeper. So I'll pop in, say thank you again to Kelly, Shiloh, and Quincy for coming to our campus, virtually, of course, to walk us through the process, share some links, give us some personal insider. I do want to remind all students on the line and then those that will watch later from the recording that these individuals are the direct contacts that you will have as you begin this recruitment process. So please do reach out, continue to make those connections. Remember that our office is here to support you in resume workshops and resume assistance. And so if you want to have your resume scrubbed through, cleaned up, reviewed before you go and apply to this process and application, we are here to support you in that endeavor. If you do have additional questions, please filter them through our office, or Kelly has graciously already provided her contact information in the chat, so feel free to reach out to them directly. And the links that were provided in the chat for those watching the recording will be provided in the email and the thank you to those who have registered and attended today. So thank you again. I will defer it back to our gracious host for any last comments, recommendations, information, videos, stories. You guys are a wealth of knowledge, and thank you again.
Awesome. Was there, yeah, thank you. And yes, that is my email in there, so feel free to reach out. So yeah, thanks. Did someone else, did you have a question too? I think I saw someone waving their hand. I don't know if they were saying bye or if they had a question.